Well, hey everybody, my name's Lonny Hogan. Welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to talk about the lifeblood of your business, leads, how to get them, especially if you're new or if you're on a shoestring budget. So the best way that I know to get leads when you're brand new is very simply getting them from a lead vendor. There's no good point in trying to reinvent the wheel, especially when you're just getting started out, with figuring out how to get consistent flows of inbound leads, because that consistency is really important. I get 30 new leads every day. I get them like clockwork. It's always reliable. I know they'll be there. So I already have that piece taken care of, and then I can just work the leads to build my business. Now, I'm going to introduce you to this lead vendor. He's someone that I've been using now for, I guess, a little over a year at this point. If you go up to this website right here, Lead Power, Lead Generation, this is where I go to access my leads. I've got a username and a password, and I'm just going to go ahead and type that in so you can take a look at my back office. And when I hit the login button here, I just misspelled my password, so let me try that one more time. All right, and logging in, boom, here's where all my leads are. Now, if you take a look at this, you can see that what's actually happening here is there's each one of these orders is for each month. Every month I get so many new leads for the month, and those are delivered to me as they're acquired by the lead vendor. So it works out to be right about 30 leads per day. So 30 leads per day times 30 days, you do the math, that's 600 leads. Many of you will notice that it says 660 here. Why does it say that? And that's because this particular lead vendor actually gives an additional 10% of the leads every month as simply a gesture and a recognition that some of the leads may not be of the best quality. Sometimes the data might be discombobulated or inaccurate. Sometimes people put in a phony phone number instead of their real phone number because they're trying to get the free stuff that's being offered on the web form, but they don't want to receive a phone call. Rather than just leave that blank, which they could do, they just decide to put in a phony phone number. So in recognition that sometimes that happens, the lead vendor just makes up for it by saying, hey, look, I'm charging you for 600 leads, but I'm going to give you 660 leads. So that extra 10% is to deal with the possibilities of lead quality, okay, which I appreciate. So the way I take these leads is that every day I basically log into this account. I come over here to download, and I click download right here, okay? And then that brings up a little spreadsheet. I pull that up, and then I'll be able to see all my leads, okay? Now, as you can see over here is the date. Okay, these are leads that started being delivered to me on the new order, which was September 17th. I'm doing this video on October 9th. So as you can see, we're up to 400 some odd leads for the month. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore the leads that were generated so far today. These are all leads that were generated just today. It looks like there's about 10 of them there. I'm interested in yesterday's leads because I didn't work those leads yesterday. So I'm going to go up here until I get to the top, and then I'm going to click on these leads here. I'm just going to scroll down through all the Tuesday leads. This should be right about 30 of them. Okay, I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to go over here to a new Excel spreadsheet, click new, and paste them in. Now, the first thing that I like to do is add a line, and just to make sure I got them all, I should have 31 lines right now. Yep, I do. And then I'll go ahead and just go through and label them. First name, last name, email, and then you got all this blank space, phone. And then what I like to do with this space right here is I'll write the word tag. And then this column right here, these are the IP addresses for which every lead came from. So this is how you can, if you're doing quality control, I trust this vendor, so I don't really do much with this, but if you're somebody that wants to scrutinize or really make sure your leads are real leads, okay, he provides the IP address from which every lead came from. And then here's the date that every lead came through on the form. That's the date that they had filled out a form requesting information about working a business from home. Now, I don't need these lines here, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete these. I don't need this blank space here, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of that. And then when I'm done, what I have left is my my titles up here and then my tag. Now with my tagline, what I like to do is you want to tag your leads so you kind of keep track of them. And I like to do that by date. So what I'll do is I'll put in October 9th leads Okay, they're actually from yesterday, but that's okay. I'm working them today, and that's how I like to tag my leads, the leads on the day that I worked those leads. And then I just go ahead and do this, and that brings all the leads down into each one of them being tagged. Then all I have to do is save the file. I come in here to Save As. This is a folder that I keep all of those leads in. Again, I want to name it the same thing that I named that tag, so I'll name it October 9th. And you don't want to save it as an Excel worksheet. You want to save it as a CSV file. That makes it a lot easier to upload the leads. And then once that's done, I'm done. I can go ahead and close out of this, close out of the other one. I can leave this website and go to the software that I use in order to work the leads. Now, if you want to see what that looks like, I'll do a different video on the different software tools that I use, on how I approach these leads and reach out to them and qualify the leads. And before I end the video, let me just say this. The whole idea here is that you've got leads that are at this point in time unqualified. They've raised their hand and said, hey, look, I'm interested in learning about working from home, but we don't know what that means yet. We don't know if they're looking for a work from home job, if they're looking for a work from home business. We don't know if these are people that are destitute and people on disability or Social Security with a lot of those types of people will actually come out and look for information about working a business from home, but they don't have the means to make any form of an investment. They're really not well suited to be starting a business working from home. You want to treat these leads with kindness and care and be gentle. I'm not a big fan of calling leads good leads or bad leads because I don't believe in that. I believe there are qualified leads and unqualified leads, but I also believe that each and every one of these pieces of data, these phone numbers, email addresses, first and last names, they aren't just dollar signs. These are human beings. These are people with heartbeats and feelings and needs. And your job as a marketer is to reach out to these people to see if you can help them. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to these people to see if I can help them. If I find a chemistry, a connection, an ability to help them with what they're trying to accomplish and improving the quality of their lives, great. I'm going to show them the strategies and techniques that I have in my back pocket for doing that. And if they're not a fit, that's okay too. And so I've got some real efficient and great ways of doing that. You can tune into one of my other videos to learn more. As for now, if you want to get leads for yourself, if you want to use this particular lead vendor, just click the link that you see down there in the description. That way I can get a little bit of credit for it, and you can get yourself a nice, consistent, anywhere from 10 to 30 leads per day from what I consider to be one of the top lead vendors in the marketplace. Okay? Cheers.